My guest today on Dolphin Tales is senior pitcher Tyler Santana from the Jacksonville University baseball team, who has put together a heck of a run here late in the season, is now one of the four teams left in the ASUN Baseball Championship, and it resumes play on Thursday at UNF's Harmon Stadium. Tyler, first and foremost, thanks for taking the time to join me here today.
Absolutely. Anytime I can get a chance to talk to you guys, it's nothing but good, obviously. But
We have had some good times chatting after games this year. But of course, there was kind of that stretch there in the middle of this season as we kind of take a look back where things were tough. The team was just, things just weren't kind of rolling the way of the Dolphins, if you will. But starting in the month of May, it feels like something has clicked or switched or something along those lines. And this team has been much better, and the results have shown for it on the field and in the win column as well. What have you feel like has changed for this group as the season has gone along and we've entered this final stretch here?
I think the biggest thing is we're just getting guys back that were injured, unfortunately. Um, we had some guys that started off the year playing not at 100%, and then obviously at the beginning of the season, we lost some guys that were in the lineup every day, and that we needed to be producing. But I think now that they're coming back and getting in the lineup every day and getting used to playing again, I think that's a big thing. We've just been hitting and playing. We've been pitching and hitting a lot better than we were at one point in the season. So it's been fun the last couple of weeks. I'll tell you that.
No doubt. I can see it. I can kind of feel it being around you guys that there's a different sort of energy of this group at this point in the year. And Coach Hayes, I know he always says it. We want to be playing best baseball in May and then into June. And I would say unquestionably this group is playing its best baseball here in May. One of the unique aspects I feel like is this kind of blending of youth and experience. If you look, even sometimes it's as simple as if you look at the top half of the batting order, it's a bunch of old guys. And if you look at the bottom half of the batting order, it's a bunch of really young guys. But this group has kind of blended in a way in which college athletics really hasn't even had to deal with, but has blended unique mix here this year. What has been kind of the key, you think, to you guys that have been around the game of baseball, college baseball for a long time, connecting and gelling with those guys that are new to this game at this level?
I think the biggest part of it is the fall. Obviously, the fall everyone gets here, and I mean, if you're a returner, you know most of the people on the team. But coming in as a freshman, at least for me, I knew two people probably, and they did a good job of taking at least my class and the class after that of taking them under their wings and showing us the way that we should be around each other. Always hanging out, always having a good time, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't miss out on that this fall, obviously, because of the restrictions we had. And I think it showed early in the year that we didn't really play very well. We weren't being able to do everything together at once. It was always either we pitched well, we hit well, and we didn't do the other one. And I think now that we have all these games under our belt and we've been through the trenches, I mean, we've been through some hard stuff this year, but I think our character and everything that we've built as a team is starting to show now, which is great.
What has navigating some of those challenges of this past year looked like as you all have tried to? I know you're one of the leaders on this team. What have you tried to do in order to figure out a way to overcome some of the stuff, whether it's restrictions or hard times or whatever it may be?
I think the biggest thing is just what Coach Hayes tells us. Like, regardless of what's happening in the game or whatever the end result of the game is, we're gonna have another one. The game is always gonna keep coming. Whether you make an error, you make a bad pitch, you have a bad at bat. You know what I'm saying? And at least me, Mike, the seniors have just been trying to implement that into every day. Like, we have, regardless of what goes on or what situation we're in the game, we just have to keep pushing and keep trying to just win as many pitches as possible.
What has your journey looked like? Let's look at Tyler Santana here. You come in as a freshman in 2017. You're part of a team that wins a regular season championship. 2018, you're part of a team that goes to a regional. I mean, a lot of success there early. You played a key piece of that. But where have you found your growth? How has it been? Where have you grown, I guess, the most over the course of your now 5 seasons here on campus with JU?
I'd say the most growth for sure would be my junior, my first senior year. My freshman and my sophomore year, I was super successful. I was able to play on really good teams, and my junior years was kind of like the first time that I had to be a leader per se. And I think that that definitely hit me a little hard. I didn't really produce the way that I was used to. I didn't achieve many of the goals that I wanted to, and I was able to come back last year. And obviously, I didn't get off to a very hot start. It was kind of the same thing over and over again as my junior year. And then our season got canceled, so I had all this time. I didn't really know. I didn't even know what was going to happen. I had to get back to the drawing board and figure out what was going on, why I wasn't being the player I was early in my career. And I think a lot of that growth came in that time period where our season got wiped out. I was able to just get as strong as I can, work on everything that I was not doing very well over the last year and a half. And luckily, I mean, I've done well this year. I think. I mean, I've been going out there every time and just giving all my effort and treating every start like it's my last one. And yeah, that's definitely been where most of my growth has been. Just last year, the quarantine, I was able to just keep working and figure out where I needed to be better and carry it over this year.
When it comes to you guys that elected to come back for another year, had the opportunity to keep playing college baseball. I mean, on the surface level, I'm sure most people would look and say, "Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you want to play another year of a sport or whatever?" But what really went into the decision to come back and get a chance to run this back?
I'd say revenge. My my junior and my freshman year, we ended our season on like the most heartbreaking way. My freshman year, we lost on a pass ball to FGCU, and my junior year, we lost. We were running the whole tournament, and we went into a 16-inning game and just couldn't squeeze out a win. And we were able to come back this year. We brought back a lot of the guys that have been on the team for a while. Obviously, we lost some guys that were a huge part of our teams in years prior, but that would say the biggest thing. I've talking to Ruben, talking to Mike, talking to Temple, everyone that came back this year. It was just like we're set on making this year very special and using the year that we got to make it count.
Well, this team has now positioned itself to really make a statement, and it's funny how it's not as simple as winning a couple of games in the month of May, late in May, in order to erase kind of what we've seen in the past. But it does feel like there's been this sort of weight lifted. Does it feel like you guys are not playing with house money, but it's like, hey, why not us type deal as far as how you're playing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we went through a terrible stretch, like you said, in the middle of the season, and everyone was starting to hit the panic button, like, "Oh my God, we're not going to make the tournament. We're going to be one of the worst teams in the conference." And I remember Coach Edwards, one day at practice was like, "At the end of the day, regardless of what our record is, we just have to win that series at the end of the year because we'll automatically be in." And I think everyone realized that and was like, "Yeah, it really doesn't matter." You know what I'm saying? We just got to keep working, keep getting better every day, and get ready for that one shot and that one series. And luckily, we were able to just fight and claw and get here to where we are now. And obviously, we're looking to do more. But
What did that series down at FGCU and Fort Myers last weekend look like from your perspective on the team? I mean, I know that it was you battle on a Friday night and come through in the ninth. It's a tough one on Saturday, and then even can you just put me in the mindset of a win or go home type game? Like when you're getting up on a Sunday morning, it's maybe a little different for you because you're not starting that day. I know you're ready to go in and contribute if you needed to pitch late in it, but where was this team and how was it able to come out and do what it did on Sunday and just absolutely exploding and playing its biggest and maybe best game of the year at the absolute most important time?
Yeah. I remember waking up on Sunday and I was like, wow, this could be my last game of my career. And I was like, I mean, I had no doubt that we were going to fight no matter what was going on. But just the way we won, I was completely in disbelief. I was so happy just to see that the way the game went. And I had texted Mike before the game because I knew he was on the same page as me, at least mindset wise. But I had told him, I was like, there's absolutely I have no doubt that you're going to go out there and do great. And that's just kind of the relationship we've always had. We've always pushed for each other and helped each other in whatever way we can. And I was so happy to see that performance from him, and not only him, but the entire team. It was up to down. Just everyone came out to play every single pitch as hard as they could, and it showed.
Are you more tempted to lay out and dive for maybe a pop up or a ground ball next time you take the mound because of what Mike did out there on Sunday?
I mean, I would love to do it just because it looks cool, but I don't know if I'm athletic enough to do it. He almost did it twice, which is even crazier. But
The second one was,
yeah.
I mean, I've never seen a pitcher with a completely untucked, dirty jersey at the front, but that's the way that Mike Casala, that's the way he plays, has always played, and it was great to see him just kind of do him, and it work out so well on Sunday. Now, that's in the past. What's coming up is Liberty at 11 a.m. on Thursday at UNF's Harmon Stadium to get this. They're calling it the semifinal round. There's only 4 teams left. It's 3 wins and you're into a regional. And this is a team that it's weird, right? Like, have not seen. They're in the same conference, haven't played them in 2 years. And so, how does that change things as you get ready to take the ball, and as this team gets ready to go face off against a conference foe in a conference tournament that is somewhat unfamiliar?
Well, first of all, I mean, obviously they've been a good team for a long time. They have a good program. They've had a great year, obviously. But regardless of what our results of the season were and all our stats and all that stuff, we've shown through even just how obviously not as planned the season went. We've shown we could beat anybody. I mean, we took out Florida. We took down Florida State. We just completely won this series was huge for us. Not only obviously because we're able to be here, but just morale. Like, you were on the bus on the way back. I was telling everybody that was the best bus ride I've ever been on.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Just that we have obviously the confidence now. We know that we can actually make a run at this.
And I feel like just having that mindset goes a long way, where you're not walking out going, can we? But it's more of a will we type deal.
We have nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're the underdog of this entire series. We're the underdog this weekend. No one was expecting us to come out. No one was expecting us to be playing on Thursday at 11 a.m. against Liberty.
No doubt. And so hopefully this team is able to keep this thing rolling. And I'll be excitedly watching and broadcasting and hoping that this thing keeps rolling too. What is it about, as this one kind of gets into a normal-ish, if you will, more format? You're not used to playing a series in a conference tournament, but what about conference tournaments make it unique or different? What do you remember or stands out from your time playing in various ones over the years?
Literally anything can happen. I've seen the most crazy moments in the conference tournament that probably will ever happen on the baseball field in the last 4, not excluding last year, obviously, but my freshman year, like I said, we were 3-0. We had to get beat twice in the championship, and we lost on a pass ball. My sophomore year, we were playing Stetson, and the 2 best closers in the nation blew a save in the same game in the same back-to-back innings. My junior year, there was, I think, we had a 16-inning game, and then the game after us was a 12-inning game, and we came back losing 8-1 or something in the second inning. So hopefully there's not that many. Hopefully the things go our way in this time around, but I'm sure something crazy will happen in this tournament as well.
One day I'm going to write a book on ASUN tournament baseball stories, because from the fact that the 2 longest games in the tournament's history, I have broadcast both of them, and they've both been JU Stetson games. That's just the beginning. That's the first chapter of the craziness that has occurred. So I think you hit the nail on the head there. And literally, anything can happen in these type of games, in these formats, when everybody's playing to win or and survive in advance. And it's fun, it's hectic, but I'm glad that this team is getting a chance to advance and continue to play in this type of format. All right, we'll end with this. When it comes to going in to this weekend, I mean, I know you've already said it that there's nothing to lose when it comes to this thing. It's just go out there, play hard. But what type of advice or anything are you going to offer to these young guys, of which there's a lot of key pieces that have never played in this type of a setup before, if you will, where we don't know what tomorrow looks like because we haven't played today yet?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing. I mean, I would never want them to think this way, but at least me and Mike talking the last couple of weeks have been like, we have to treat literally every game like it's our last because we don't know when it's going to be. And I think just thinking that way and taking that mindset out every single day to practice, to your lift, the games, obviously, it allows you to elevate your performance, obviously, because you're literally giving everything you see, everything you can on every single pitch, even in the dugout, like just the energy and wanting everybody to succeed every single pitch. I think that's the biggest thing that has changed, at least for me personally. It's been able to zone me in and keep me focused at all times. And for the younger guys, like just before their end is coming, I would never wish that upon anyone, but I would say just to keep working. We've seen that things didn't go as planned, but just the continuing of keeping the hard work, and trying to just get better every single day. We've been playing our best baseball now, which is right where we want to be.
Well, there's only 4 teams with a chance to get that auto bid left in the ASUN Baseball Championship, and Jacksonville is one of them, and get things going at 11 a.m. on Thursday at UNF's Harmon Stadium against the number 1 seed for the North Division, Liberty. Tyler Santana, thanks so much for joining me here today on Dolphin Tales, and best of luck this week.
Thank you for having me.